Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. Okay, so I have another Memory of Chaos video for you guys today. And for this season of Memory of Chaos, I didn't have as much issues surviving, unlike the last season. That's probably mostly due to the turbulence, giving everyone 30% extra HP, as well as a heal every time you get hit. But aside from that, the issue this time was the enemies were quite tanky. And it also caught me by surprise. For the second half, Kafka here, she actually doesn't have two phases, unlike the normal end bosses for Memory of Chaos. Instead, she has one phase, but you have to kill the elite mobs to the side as well. You cannot clear the stage just by killing Kafka. I learned that sort of the hard way. So just a heads up, you have to kill Kafka and the two elite mobs to the side. And for some reason, they're actually tankier than they normally are. At least that's how I felt. Now going over the teams. For the first half, I pulled out my Acheron, Fugue, and Tribi combo again. The team features Acheron as the damage dealer, Fugue as our Nihili character, as well as debuffer, Fuxuan as our tank, and then Tribi as our Harmony support, who also generates a lot of Crimson Knot stacks thanks to Fugue giving her the buff. For the second team, I went with my Super Break team featuring Firefly. I initially did try a couple of runs with my Imbibitor Lunane. Yeah, it just wasn't going to cut it. His damage was not nearly enough to burst through the enemies. Like I said, these enemies are really tanky for some reason in this season of Memory of Chaos. And not to mention, we don't have any actual buffs that benefit traditional damage dealers. If you have any HP scaling or damage dealers that rely on consuming their own HP, then this season's Turbulence will definitely benefit you. But unlike Lunane, he's an attack scaling damage dealer, so he doesn't benefit from this season's Turbulence at all. And if I actually attempted the run, it probably would have taken anywhere from 5 to maybe even 7 cycles. I was definitely even struggling on the first wave for this half. But enough about that. For this team, I ran Ruan Mei, obviously, as a support, Firefly as the main damage dealer, the Harmony Trailblazer making a return, and of course Gallagher as our sustainer. I could actually run a sustainless team if I put Fugue on the second half, but alas, I only have one copy of Fugue. Actually, you can only have one copy of Fugue. If only you could have two copies of one character, I would run Fugue on both teams. Alright, that's pretty much it. As usual, I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay and commentary. Alright, we start off with a Tribi technique, Fuxuan's technique, Fugue's technique, and then we initiate the fight with Acheron's technique. Here we're going to buff up our Tribi, so she can generate Crimson Knot stacks for Acheron. Basic attack, into the ultimate to advance forward everyone. Fuxuan's just going to basic here. We're going to wait until Fugue basics here, so she applies the defense break, and then Acheron's going to ult. Boom, 800k, not too bad. Tribi's going to follow up, and now we pop Fugue's ultimate. Another follow up. To be noted, you're running the Trend of the Universal Market light cone on your preservation character for Acheron. These fire golems cannot get burned, so it's kind of a rip, unfortunately. Here's another Acheron ult. They're all almost dead. There were a couple of runs where I was unable to clear this first wave within 1 cycle, or 0 cycles actually. So I had to restart those runs. It's a little bit inconsistent, but here, as you can see, I'm actually going to scale up on Tribi. It's not energy efficient, but I want that extra pen resist to guarantee the kill here. Alright, on to the second wave. Here's the Flame Reaver. Now this guy, I don't think, he might hit pretty hard. It might just be the Turbulence that's making us tankier than normal. So I didn't really have issues surviving this half. But he is very tanky. And if you do not kill these Shadow Clones, I'm just going to call them Shadow Clones, to the side here, he literally takes no damage. As you can see, there's a lot of debuffs and buffs going up on the bar there. But once it comes up again, you'll see like there's a number 6 right now, and there's a up symbol with like a shield reflecting some damage. That is basically stacks of damage reduction. And every time you kill one of these Shadows clones, that buff that he has, the damage reduction buff, goes down. He starts out with 8 on both phases. So you want to make sure you're killing these Shadow clones as soon as possible. before he takes his turn, preferably, because when he takes his turn, I believe he actually consumes the shadow clones and he deals increased damage or something along those lines. I didn't really bother reading the entire kit. It's a little bit too much to read. Yeah, so the main goal of this boss fight is to just kill all the shadow clones as fast as possible. Alright, we're gonna wait. As you can see, we're holding on to Fuchs' ultimate. We want to save that for when all the clones are out. Same with Fu Shen's ultimate as well. Alright, and then Triby's gonna keep follow up attacking. What do you call it? Put the field back up. Pop the ultimate here on Triby. Here we use Acheron's skill. We do have the ultimate, but the thing is, he's at 1 HP. I don't want to burn Acheron's ultimate here. Just to kill him off at 1 HP. To push him to the next phase. So we're just going to use all our attacks here. Refresh the Matrix. Basic attack. Unfortunately, we don't have enough damage for my characters to actually kill here. So we're going to buff up Triby. And let the Turbulence finish off the, what do you call it? Flame Reaver. Now he's on to phase 2. We're going to wait. We have Acheron's ultimate. We are overcapped on Crimson Knot stacks, but we have to wait until he summons the Shadow Clones, and then now we can ult. Alright, the clones are gone, so now we're just going to focus them down. We're going to wait until he has another, when it's his turn, he's going to resummon them, basically. Since I've learned from just doing this run multiple times, when there aren't any clones on the field and I have the extra skill points or turns, I'm going to skill on Triby if it's like 1 turn before her field is about to expire. So that's why I didn't actually use my basic there, even though her skill was still active at the time. Alright, now we need to delete these clones as fast as possible. So there's one of them, or one wave of them gone. He's going to continue. Once he does like this is like his ultimate attack. Once he's like charging up his ultimate attack, his clones will constantly refresh. And you want to, there's 2 things you can do here. You can either kill him and finish the run here, which is what I plan on doing, or you can try and weakness break him, and then he will stop charging the ultimate attack. So if you don't think you have the damage to finish him off before he takes his turn, he's glowing red as you can see on the action symbol. You can weakness break him instead, but I chose to just finish him off here instead of doing that. With the Acheron ult, boom! Clean finish within 2 cycles. Alright, on to the second half. Trailblazer technique, Ranmei technique, and then we start the fight off with Firefly's technique. I was like really surprised how tanky these mobs are on this half. I was expecting it to be a lot easier since Kafka didn't have 2 phases to her boss fight, but I guess they inflated the HP to make it to even it out. I guess I actually had trouble clearing this first half within I think it was 1 cycle. There were just a lot of runs where I just fell short in terms of damage, clearing the first half in 1 cycle. So, I don't know, man. The HP inflation is really getting out of hand. Alright, we're going to pop the Trailblazer's ultimate here. And unfortunately, I don't have a target to reset Firefly on. So we are just going to target the Lion mob. Alright, now it's Firefly's turn. Now we can actually have the reset into another super break. Ranmei's just gonna basic here. We're doing some chip damage to the horse to even out the damage or their HP bars. We don't have the reset, so it doesn't really matter here which target we pick. There's the Turbulence. Unfortunately, most of the hits landed onto the, what do you call it? The trash mobs. Keynote. For the first wave, you don't have to clear out the trash mobs. If you clear out the horse and the lion, then you can move on to the second wave. Unlike the second wave, where you have to clear out all the mobs. There is Trailblazer's ultimate. And we do have the reset here, and thankfully one of the mobs is going to die here. So that's going to reset Firefly into this. And unfortunately, Firefly is going to exit the, what do you call it, combustion state here. And as you can see, we're very close to ending the cycle, but thank God Firefly finishes the horse off here. Onto the second wave. is Kafka and the two unicorns, Pegasus, whatever you want to call them. Here I'm making sure, because I did screw up the second half quite a few times, I'm making sure I have a target for Firefly to get the reset on. So we're going to hit Kafka here. And with that, their weakness bars should be lowered enough to the point where Firefly can get her reset here. So break Kafka, then go into another hit. Go with the skill on the Trailblazer. From Mage is going to do some chip damage. Unfortunately, our reset is on cooldown, but I have to pick to target them, so it's a bit unfortunate. We're not going to get the reset for a couple of turns here on Firefly. Okay, Kafka's back up. Uses her skill on Gallagher, which is the best target because he has the highest effect resist. It doesn't really matter, although if she used it on a different character and they got, what do you call it, dominated, then I would have to use the skill on Gallagher. Kind of a waste of turns and skill points, but I got lucky there. Go, Firefly. Some damage there onto the Turbulence. We need to have the ultimate back up on the Trailblazer. And then Firefly should be able to weakness break Kafka here into the reset for some pretty good damage. Gallagher's just going to basic. We pop the ultimate. We hit Kafka. And we exit the combustion state, unfortunately. And we won't be able to generate enough energy, unfortunately, as well to get the ultimate, I believe, here. I think I just go for Kafka here. Yep, we're a little bit short of energy. Got a skill on the Trailblazer. This unicorn's going to wake up. And here, hit Firefly. And another hit on the Firefly. She has enough energy for the ultimate, but she got CC'd. Luckily, Gallagher's here to cleanse her. And with this, I thought the run was over, because I have Firefly's ultimate here. And we were going to kill Kafka here, obviously. But this is where I found out you have to kill the two unicorns as well. So, unfortunately, it's going to take one more cycle to clear, instead of the 2 cycles I was expecting. Either way, I didn't really want to redo this run, so I was like, you know what, it's fine. 3 cycle clears, still pretty decent. And with that, the last unicorn's almost dead. Unicorn, Pegasus, whatever you want to call it, guys. It's a damn horse with wings. And then Gallagher finishes off. Alright, and that's it. MOC within 5 cycles. Alright, now let me go over my characters and their builds real quick, starting off with Acheron. These are her stats. Lycone is her signature Lycone. Traces. These are her relics. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 2. Alright, on to my Fugue. These are her stats. I actually did change up her build a little bit. As you can see, she has some fire damage for some reason. Lycone is the Sweaty Lycone at S4. Traces, I leveled up her ultimate a little bit for some extra chip damage. It actually probably did help out a bit. These are her relics. And the big change to her relics are actually this. I put her on a energy regeneration set. Normally I would want a HP or defense rope, or not rope, sphere on her. But those are currently being taken up. I guess I could have, this isn't that great. It's got crit subs on it. But they're currently being taken up by my Ruan Mei and Tribi. So I don't really have any other options. And this Fire Orb was kind of just sitting around. And if you take a look at the subs, they're kind of perfect for her effect hit rate and a lot of speed. So I figured, whatever. She'll do a little bit extra damage. It's not the most optimal, but it'll work. And for her Link Rope, obviously it's an energy regeneration rope. Doesn't have any speed, but it has some effect hit rate and a decent amount of bulk. Regardless, I got her to a fast enough speed breakpoint, so it ended up being fine. And the reason why I ran the energy regeneration rope over the traditional break effect rope on her is because I wanted her to generate as many ultimates as possible for Tribi to follow up attack. So for that particular team, if I run Fugue and Tribi, I generally give up a lot of break effect for some more energy regeneration and ultimate uptime. As for Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 0. Next is Lady Fu Xuan. These are her stats. Lycone is Trend of the Universal Market at S4. Her traces, I actually put some investment into them, especially this one, her skill, because I wanted the extra HP and crit rate. And I figured, like, this is her most important skill. Even if you take a look at recommendations, it's top priority. I had it at level 8 for the longest time. And I basically use Fu Xuan almost every single season of Memory of Chaos. So there's almost no excuse not to have this maxed out. This needs to be invested into as well when I have the time and resources. Probably this node as well. These are her relics, 2-piece speed, 2-piece HP set. Pretty basic relics. And then a broken keel set for her planar ornaments. Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, and finally for the first half is my really fast Tribi. Eventually when Casterus, who's coming out in a couple of days and I will be pulling for her, when she comes out, I will try to transition over to a slow Tribi, the more traditional slow Tribi that deals more damage. But for this particular team, I need Tribi as fast as possible. The faster she is, the more Crimson Knot stacks she generates. It's not so much about her damage, it's about her utility. And her Lycone Dance is at S4. These are her traces. I recently maxed out her skill as well. I think her traces are pretty much done. This is probably optimal enough. I don't think I need to max out the follow-up attack. It is probably just going to be a little bit of extra chip damage. These are her relics. I have her on a 2-piece speed set in order to make her as fast as possible. And then the energy regeneration set to allow her to have the most ultimate uptime. As for Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 0. Alrighty, on to the second team, starting off with Ron Mei. These are her stats. For her Lycone, I swapped her to Meshing Cogs as her usual Lycone is being taken up by the Harmony Trailblazer, and she's not a very good Dance user, especially not with my S1 Dance, the second copy I have, so this is her best option, besides those two. These are her traces, fully maxed, other than this node, I guess. Relics, I have her on a 2-piece break effect set and a 2-piece speed set. Normally I have her on a 4-piece watchmaker, but currently, since I'm using the Harmony Trailblazer, we are going to give her a 2-piece speed instead and a 2-piece break effect set. Eidolon, she's at Eidolon 0. Alright, moving on to our girl Firefly. These are her stats. Lycone is on the Fall of an Eon at S5. These are her traces. These are her relics. Eidolons, she's at Eidolon 2. Alright, on to the Harmony Trailblazer. These are his stats. A lot of break effect. Lycone, I have him on Memories of the Past. Normally, if I ran him with Fugue, I would run Dance. That's an absolutely insane combo. But last Fugue was being taken up on the first half. So normally, if I don't have Fugue on the team, I would run him on Memories of the Past for the extra break effect, as well as the energy regeneration. These are his traces. Maybe I should max it out, although I may not, because we may or may not see the Harmony Trailblazer being used as often as he used to be, as Remembrance might take his place. These are his relics. Eidolons, of course, he's at Eidolon 6. You get them for free. Alright, and finally we are at Gallagher. These are his stats. Kind of wish I had a little bit more effect resist, but apparently the 50% was enough to prevent him from being dominated by Kafka. Lycone is Quick Pro Quo at S5. These are his traces. Oh wait, this is the effect resist that I probably should be investing into. Yeah, I'm really behind on traces, I guess. Anyways, these are his relics. He's on a 2-piece speed and 2-piece break effect. And then for the planar sphere, I have him on this 2-piece set. Eidolons, he's at Eidolon 6. Alrighty guys, well that's gonna be it for this Honkai Star Rail video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.
Existence as fleeting as the dawn's dew, destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed.